I've got a good joke for you. How do you know if you're in the same room as a vegan? They'll tell you about it. Yeah, I'm definitely one of those people that, and I think every vegan tends to be that sort of person. You end up being just a little bit more vocal about your food preferences, mostly because, if someone's cooking food for you, you can't just be like, oh yeah, steak and chips or, whatever. You have to be a little bit more specific. Or if you're in the office or whatever sort of workplace that you're at, you can't just be like, oh yeah, milk and 2 sugars, because we're all awkward. Well, vegans are awkward, or people with dietary intolerances are awkward. And yeah, you need to be more specific. But anyway, today I wanted to talk about veganism, why I'm a vegan, my process, my experiences, and also being an MMA fighter and being a vegan at the same time, because I'm hearing more and more most days, I'm getting people saying, oh, you're bloody strong for a vegan, or you're the hardest vegan I've ever sparred against, or these sort of things, and it's all like anything like that. It's all bit of a stigma behind it. But anyway, we'll start from the beginning because I'll take you on the journey with me. So I, like everyone, like most people in my era, was brought up eating everything that be meat, dairy, eggs, everything, and I lived my life like that until I was around, I want to say, 25-ish. What happened then was I just ended up going off red meat. So I think I was eating like a steak one day, and I was just thinking like, it's a bit minging this, like it, and I understand why people do enjoy these things, but for me, I was just like, ugh, the texture, bit of autism popping out there, but the texture's like not for me. So yeah, I was like, nah, I'll just swear red meat. I'll stick to my chicken and rice. I was a gym guy anyway, so I was like, chicken and rice, that's me. I'm happy with just having that, 7 days a week, and that's what I did. 7 days a week, I'd have my, whatever meal in for breakfast, and then chicken and rice, maybe for lunch, maybe even for tea. I might even have mixed it up and been like, oh, actually I'll have pasta with the chicken. I absolutely tanned chicken for so long that I actually was repulsed by it by the end of it. I overate it, plain and simple. I just didn't like it anymore. Chicken bored me to death. I seasoned it with everything. I was thinking, like, I can't just eat chicken forever. Otherwise, I'm just going to get even more bored of it, and it's just not doing anything for me. And let's be honest, for me, food is the biggest love of my life. So if I'm not eating something that I'm enjoying, then what's the point? I'm not enjoying myself. So nah, that's not going to happen. So what I did was I went vegetarian, and for a year, maybe a bit longer, I was vegetarian and still had my cow's milk, still had eggs, stuff like this, and then I was just cutting bits out here and there. I was just a bit sick of certain products, and yeah, halloumi was my thing. I absolutely tanned halloumi. Halloumi was like a daily thing, so I'd have a whole block every single day without fail. I'd have a whole block of a whole block of halloumi, a whole plate of pasta, and then whatever veg I'd fancied on the day. So yeah, a really crazy high salt diet, and it just wasn't the one. It really wasn't. It wasn't good for me. I wasn't healthy. I wasn't very happy. I was overweight. I was still a gym guy, but I wasn't particularly healthy. Definitely nowhere near where I am now. And that's not a comparison as to meat versus veganism, because you can't compare the two because they're completely different dietary preferences, and I'm not a preachy vegan by any means. Naturally, you kind of have to be a bit more vocal about it because, like I said earlier, you know, if I'm in the office, I need to be like, nah, don't give me cow's milk because I don't drink it. It's minging. And again, that's cow's milk. If I smell milk now, I'm just like, ugh, like I can smell the dairy. I can smell the dairy on people, and no offense, but it's just not for me. It's not my cup of tea. Excuse the pun. But anyway, as I digress, I had halloumi for bloody ages, and then eventually got sick of that. Knew that the salt and just having it so much was too much. So I cut that out. I cut out pretty much everything bit by bit, and then eventually became vegan. So I've been vegan for about 3 years. 3 years now. Yeah, I think about 3 years. So 3 years I've been a vegan, and I feel amazing. Like I've never felt better in my life. I feel so strong. I feel energized all the time. Well, not all the time, you know, we all have bad days, but most of that's due to sleep. And my one true love, which is biscuits. Like, biscuits are like the best thing ever. But yeah, I've not even had a nutritionist for all this time. I've literally just started with a nutritionist now who's putting me on the straight and narrow. But all this time I've just been winging it. I've just been, you know, lifting weights. I've been eating whatever. I'm definitely educated. I'm well versed in, you know, macronutrients and making sure that you get them all in at the right times, and what to get in as well. However, I have got a nutritionist now because I needed that little bit more guidance, a little bit more of a routine, someone to push me, someone to kick me up the arse and to say, listen, stop eating those biscuits and yeah, get on the diet that I've planned for you. So I've got a nutritionist now. I'm feeling great. Prior to this, I felt amazing anyway. I've just really thrived the whole time. So yeah, I can't really say how I felt as a meat eater because it was just me. You eat every day and you kind of just crack on. Whereas I've been a little bit more mindful of it since mindful of my own energy levels and how I've slept, and pretty much my whole life since I've been a vegan. I've just been a little bit more mindful about everything. The whole, like, you know, other reasons as to why people are vegan, you know, such as animal welfare and stuff, these things do naturally come hand in hand with taste preference, which is what I would describe my veganism as. I just don't like the taste of meats and dairy products anymore. I don't like the texture, definitely. The texture is definitely the one that I really can't stand. But if you go vegan because you don't like what people do to the animals, for example, or what they do to get these certain products, then I understand, and I understand that that's your prerogative, and that in a way is what I believe in as well, because of course, you know, I feel like every life is on the same playing field, but you know, you can't be preaching it, you can't be doing the stop oil stuff. I feel like they've got the right message in terms of like save the planet, but there's right and wrong ways to go about things, and I don't think they're doing the best way of protesting. There's better ways to do it. But in terms of the stigma behind being a vegan, you know, I'm fit, I'm strong. Everyone in the gyms knows me as like a strong person. Everyone can vouch that I'm like a strong featherweight. And you know, there's people in there that are much bigger and physically stronger, but because I'm able to use my techniques, use my my weight, my leverage, all these things, I'm doing well. And I can't say it's genetics because I don't think I've got the best genetics. I think I've got okay genetics, but I think, yeah, veganism has definitely helped. I think it's a good way of life, a good way of thinking at least. I think if you're considering being a vegan, then educate yourself well, be understanding of what you will lack naturally in terms of nutrients, vitamins, and just make sure that you're doing everything right. You need to make sure that you've got someone, at least someone that can keep you in line and make sure that you're not just eating, you know, a raw vegan diet, for example, which, you know, has its limitations. All diets have the limitations. Anyway, I'm just going off and on here, but I wanted to kind of explain why I'm a vegan. Being a vegan MMA fighter, and I know it has a lot of question marks around that. I know that there is and has been some vegan fighters. I think Sean O'Malley started off as a vegan, and he stopped being a vegan because he couldn't put on muscle, or he was like struggling to add weight or something. Of which I just think is, oh, my light's just gone off. I think it's a bit barbaric that you don't have enough strength, or you can't put on weight. I just think it's a bit interesting that that's his take. I just don't think he had the right guidance, if I'm honest. But yeah, wanted to discuss how I feel. I'm doing really well. I'm smashing it in terms of training. I'm always training. I'm training probably 6 days a week at the moment, twice a day. I'm killing it in terms of nutrition, really, really well. I'm like fit as anything. I'm just doing really well. So in terms of the comparison, previous Jack to now vegan Jack, I absolutely love where I am now. I love who I've become in terms of a person, and also nutritionally and fundamentally. I think I've developed really, really well as a human being. I think that being a vegan has helped me be more mindful of the planet, be more mindful of what we do daily, what we eat daily. And yeah, that's just my take. I think being a vegan's a good way of life. But also, if you want to eat meat, if you want to do whatever you want to do in life, do it. As long as you're not intentionally harming people, then fair game. Of which there's the argument, you know, are you killing these animals for pleasure, or are you doing these things because of any reason other than to feed yourself? And if you are healthy, and if you are still doing well in terms of your health and well-being, then who's to argue with that? Not me. I'm not one of those preachy vegans. Even though this whole video has been me kind of being a bit preachy, I would say I'm my own worst enemy in terms of reviewing my own chatting bubbles. I know I say that a lot, but you know, you kind of have to keep it a little bit PC online. But yeah, I just wanted to make a video on this today. I will go through my my diet at some point soon. I'll be putting stuff on my story on Instagram, or give me a follow, Jack Bangs MMA, all one word. If you give me a follow, that'd be great. I'm going to put stuff on my story about what I'm eating, what I'm drinking, and what I'm training, everything. You know, I just want to document how I'm doing in life and kind of take you all on the journey with me, because why the hell not? Anyway, this was my chat. This was veganism. This was, my third or fourth, I think, episode of Stand and Bangs. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, do whatever you need to do, because yeah, that'd be really appreciated. Anyway, catch you on the next one. Peace!